Okay, so we just got Cyrene version 1 leaked here, and we're gonna go over it. Just baseline, get full, opinions on it. We did see the leaked crumbs, but we're gonna just go into it. So the ultimate, you're gonna be summoning memo sprites, or a memo sprite. We don't know what the name of the memo sprite is. Currently in the game, also, if you don't know, this is a little bit of spoilers, but the Cyrene we see is supposedly the memo sprite for this Cyrene. Apparently, I don't know. It's kind of convoluted. Anyways, causes it to immediately gain 1 extra turn and activates all teammates' ultimate. Then enters the Ripples of the Past Reverie state with basic attack enhanced to Towards Love and Tomorrow, and can only use this basic attack. Increases Cyrene and the memo sprite's critical hit rate by 50% and deploys the zone effect from the skill with no active duration. Okay, so just the zone that is going to be put up from the skill is just going to be active for however many turns, which I think is pretty good. Can only be used once per combat. The memo sprite's initial HP equals to 100% of Cyrene's max HP. Okay, so this ultimate is bonkers, it seems like, and they are trying to combat that with, you can only use it 1 per combat, meaning like 1 iteration of the entirety of the just battle. Interesting. The memo sprite skill is going to be an AoE damage to all enemies based off the memo sprite's 50% max HP. The skill, it applies a buff to 1 designated ally. When the target is a Chrysos heir, the target gains some kind of special effect. I think this depends on the actual Chrysos heir, I believe. And when the target is not a Chrysos heir, the target's damage dealt is going to be increased by 40% for 2 turns. So that's also very good, the fact that if you do not have a Chrysos heir, you do still get a 40% damage bonus for 2 turns. But we need to go find where the actual, oh, okay, so it's each individual effect down there, so that's good. So we just went over this. The talent is obviously the memo sprite's speed is going to be at 0 and will not appear on the action order. While in the field, it is considered as out of bounds. When changes occur on Cyrene's HP percentage, the memo sprite's HP percent will also change accordingly. And then when the memo sprite is on the field, Cyrene and the memo sprite's max HP increases by 24%. While or after using abilities, all continuous effect durations of this unit are decreased by 1. Okay. And then out of bounds, neither allies nor enemies can actively select out of bounds units. Interesting. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. So when the memo sprite is summoned, it's going to dispel crowd control debuffs for all allies. All right, so now we're going to jump into what the actual skill, the skill being this poem, a benediction to life, is going to affect each individual character. So first up, we have the Trailblazer, the Remembrance Trailblazer. You are going to be increasing the Trailblazer's attack by a value of 16% of the memo sprite's max HP, and increase the critical hit rate by 60% of the memo sprite's critical hit rate, which is pretty decent. This effect also applies to Mem. That's actually very interesting. And when the Trailblazer uses an enhanced basic attack in this battle, immediately gain 1 extra turn and automatically use Waltz of Flowers and Arrows. If the target is defeated before this ability is used, it will be used on a newly appeared enemy target instead. So Waltz of Flowers and Arrows, is that okay? So that's just the AoE attack, so that's okay. Okay, next up is going to be Romance. This is going to be used on Aglaya. You are going to be gaining Romance. It immediately stacks Garment Maker's memo sprite's talent speed boost effect to its max. That's actually huge. And then after Aglaya or the Garment Maker uses an attack, you're going to consume romantic, and generates 70 energy for this unit, increases damage dealt by Aglaia and the Garment Maker by 72%, and ignores 36% of the target's defense. Wow. And it's going to last until Aglaia exits the Supreme Stance state. Holy. Okay, so Aglaia's decent now. Being able to have AoE attack capability in Aglaia is very good. And with the Garment Maker, obviously, in the ultimate is very good. Having the max speed boost is actually really good because that is Aglaia's whole gimmick is speed. Yeah, that's really good. Next up is Passage. This is going to be for Tribby. When Tribby causes damage dealt by Tribby, when used, okay, so once Tribby deals damage, you're going to be ignoring 12% of the enemy's defense. That's okay. When Tribby launches a follow-up attack, it's going to trigger the additional damage from Tribby's zone. It further deals 1 instance of additional damage. That's very good. So you're going to have 2 instances of additional damage from Tribby. So far out of the 3, I think Tribby's is actually the biggest lackluster, honestly. Strife. Okay, so this is for Mighty. When he is in the Vendetta state, he automatically uses God Slayer Be God. In this attack, he's going to increase his critical damage by 60% and does not consume any charge. If he is not in the Vendetta state, it's going to advance his action forward by 100%. That's very good because he does want to be in this state the most. So the fact that, or this attack, the fact that he's able to do that while also getting a critical hit damage bonus, and then if he is not, his action is advanced forward by 100%. That's pretty good. Yeah, so far I think his and Aglaia's are like the best ones so far. Okay, Casterus, Life and Death. So new bud can overflow up to 200%. When summoning Netherwing, consumes all overflow new bud, increases the damage multiplier of the damage dealt by 0.24% for every 1% of overflow value. So what is that? So that's an additional 100% or 100, and then you multiply that by 24. No, that can't be right. Maybe 24% additional damage. I mean, that's still good, but that seems like it could be a little low. And then when summoned, Netherwing triggers the ability effect of its talent, Wings Sweep the Ruins. If there are 2 more enemies on the field or fewer, the damage multiplier additionally increases by 0.48%. Okay, so either 24% increased damage possibility with being able to overflow the new bud ability, which is like Casterus' ultimate, essentially bringing out Netherwing, or if there is 2 or fewer enemies, that damage buff is going to be doubled, so it'd be up to a 48% damage boost. That's pretty good. Reason, Anaxa. When used on Anaxa, you are going to recover 1 skill point for the team and causes Anaxa's next action to advance by 100%. Going to increase his skill damage by 40%, increases his attack by 60%, and increases the number of instances skill damage by 3, lasting for 1 turn. Okay, so that just tells me that instead of using his skill damage twice, you're just going to be using it 3 times, just boom, instantly. You pair that up with Cyrene. Would that mean like it'd be used 6 times, possibly? I don't know. That's this with the Noxa is gonna have to be used a lot of just testing, because if that can be used up to 6 times, that makes a Noxa freaking busted. Sky. All right, so now we have Hyacinth. So when the Memo Sprite uses the skill, it's going to cause Hyacinth to gain 2 stacks of a Poem of the Sky. Pretty good. You're going to regenerate 24 energy for her, and then when you do have a poem about Sky and it provides healing, additionally increase the healing value for Little Ika's Memo Sprite skill by an amount equal to 72% of the healing value this time. And then whenever Hyacinth uses a skill or ultimate, you're going to consume 1 stack of a poem about Sky. That's okay. I don't think you are ideally going to be using Cyrene's skill, honestly, on Hyacinth. I mean, you have Anoxa, you have Casterus, really, and you also have Aglaya and Mighty, really, to be using it on, so I don't understand why you would want to use it on Hyacinth, but, you know, it is there. Trickery. It's going to increase damage dealt by Cypher by 36% and decrease the defense of the patron by 20% and the defense of enemy targets other than the patron by 12%. That's huge. That's massive. Like, you pair this up, you get Cypher, you get Zhao Q, and then you also get like Acheron with Cyrene, and like boom, Acheron is really, really good and busted, and then Cypher's really good. So this is good. This is more of an additional buff for the team, honestly, with Cypher. It's not really much for her. Same with Hyacinth. So these two, the Hyacinth and then the Cypher, they're okay. World bearing. This is the one that I'm most looking forward to. So Finon gains Eternal Ignition after transformation. When Eternal Ignition is present, it's going to increase his critical hit rate by 16%. He's going to have extra... After Castellana's extra turns are depleted, the transformation does not end, but refreshes all of Castellana's extra turns instead. Oh my god. He's fucking busted. At the start of Castellana's extra turns, he's going to lose HP equal to 15% of his current HP. After using an attack, it's going to deal 5 instances of additional damage, with each damage dealing fire damage equal to 30% of his attack. Oh my god. He's broken. Like, you use his ultimate's like enhanced skill, bring the meteors down, boom, you're doing additional damage as well. Jesus. And you pair that up with Saridra, and like, oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so Hycelins is going to gain Flow Warmth. After you're going to use an attack, you're going to consume Flowing Warmth and regenerate 60 energy for this unit. In this battle, increases damage dealt by Hycelins by 100%. Holy Jesus. I wonder if that also accounts for her dot. After Hycelins uses her basic or skill to attack an enemy, causes dot currently applied on the attacked enemy targets to immediately produce damage equal to 60 or 80% of the... Oh my god. 60% for the basic attack, 80% for the skill. Holy Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, well, Finon's obviously the best so far. I think his is actually better than Casterus, to be completely honest. Casterus is probably next, and then Hycelins is right there. Alright, Saridra. Increased critical damage of the character with military merit by 30%. And after the coup de main ends, Saridra immediately gains 1 point of charge. I don't care about that. The fact that you're able to increase the character with the military merit by 30% is busted. But okay, here we go. Here's Evernight, and then we have Danhong, and then that should be it. And the increased damage dealt when Eevee uses her skill, Dream Dissolving as due, by 48%. That's huge. And after Evernight uses a skill, Ultimate additionally gains 1 point of Memoria. That's also very good, but the increased damage is absolutely insane. Now for Earth. Okay, we still have one more thing too. So... okay, so increases damage dealt by Danhong by 16%, lasting for 2 turns. The next 3 attacks of Soul Dragon deals additional damage of corresponding type equal to 80% of Bond Maid's shield effect. So whatever the shield is on, you're going to be doing that type damage to the enemy. And when using Danhong, additionally advances Soul Dragon's action by 100%. That's good. Soul Dragon's next action gains the enhanced effects of Danhong's ultimate and increases the multiplier of shield provided by Soul Dragon by 150%. Very good. It does not consume the enhanced charge of Dan Hong. I think this is good. This is a good support. Yeah. Next up is after Cyrene has gained a recollection from each different teammate other than the Memo Sprite. Then when the Memo Sprite uses Wallets of Flowers and Arrows, it additionally deals 1 instance of ice damage equal to 50% of its max HP to a single target. And then you have... Okay, so... Whew. So that's all just from the Memo Sprite skill. So the best one is Finon. Is 100% Finon. Number 2 is Castorus. This is very good. Number 3, honestly, is probably Hycelin's. And then number 4, I would say, is a tie between Evernight and then a tie between Aglaya, because I do like Aglaya's buff right here. But you don't want to be using that ability onto supports. Like, they're good on the supporting characters, but oh, and Cypher's is also busted, but yeah. All right, so basic attack, you're going to gain 1 recollection point and deal damage to a single target. And then it looks like an enhanced basic attack. Gains 3 recollection points. And then, okay. To 1 enemy and then damage to all other enemies, okay? And it's an arrow attack. The skill is 3 recollection points. Then you're going to deploy a zone that lasts for 2 turns, with the zone's duration decreasing 1 at the start of every turn. While the zone is active, for each instance of damage dealt by any allied targets, deals 1 additional instance of true damage equal to 20% of the original damage. Wow. Okay. That's pretty damn good. The ultimate, you are going to be summoning the Memo Sprite. You're going to cause it to immediately gain 1 extra turn, activates all enemies' ultimates, then enters the Ripples of Past Revelry state. Okay, and then the basic attack is going to transform into this one, so that's good, and can use the basic attack. Increases Cyrene's and the Memo Sprite's crit by 50%. Yeah, we've already gone over that. But what? Okay, so what is the Ripples of Past Revelry state? I want to know. That's got it. Yeah, okay, so it's got to be in here. Yeah, and then, you know, the ultimate as well. You're gonna allow the Memo Sprite to gain 1 extra turn. So the talent. When combat begins, or after Cyrene takes action, teammates and their Memo Sprites gain future. Future on allies will cause them to take action. They consume future to grant Cyrene 1 recollection point. When Cyrene has 24 recollection points, her ultimate can be activated. And when she has 12 recollection points while in the Ripples of Past Revelry state's ultimate can be activated. After reaching the max, recollection points can overflow to a maximum of 27. And then while she's on the field, increases damage dealt by all allied targets by 20%. Holy bollocks. Okay. And then when you have 1, 2, or 3 Crisis Airs or Remembrance Path characters aside from Cyrene, you're going to be gaining 2, 3, or 6 recollection points at the start of battle. Oh my god, dude. Cyrene's busted. Freaking A, man. Like, okay. Let's go back up here. Guess I could just do that. So the teams in my head that I'm already like placing her on, obviously you have the Cyrene, you have the Evernight, where are you? And Castorus and Tribute. That's 4 Memos, or that's 4 Chrysos Airs. Boom, that team's good. That's good to go. Additionally, you can do Cyrene, Saridra, Finon. That's 3 characters right there, and then you have a free spot for any Harmony character. Ideally, probably Sunday. Yeah, Cyrene, and then you can just put her Cyrene on with Hycelin's, and then Kafka, and then I don't know. You can maybe put Dan Hong on there, and then that's 3 Chrysos. Yeah, Cyrene is just absolutely bonkers.